This is a $300,000 Lamborghini Huracan, and this is a $10,000 V10 Audi S6, dubbed the Lambo Sedan. Both of these cars share an incredibly similar 5.2-liter naturally aspirated V10 and a couple other key features, yet this car costs literally 30 times more than this car. Is it 30 times better? Let's find out. Car number one is a 2016 Lamborghini Huracan 610-4 all-wheel drive car, 5.2-liter NA V10, 7-speed dual clutch. This specific car is black over black. It's equipped with carbon ceramics. It's in great shape. It's got 29,000 kilometers on it, and it costs approximately $300,000 Canadian. The car beside it, on the other hand, is a 2007 V10 Audi S6. And the cool part about this car is it actually shares the same 5.2-liter NA V10 as this car does. Outside of that, this car is also a black over black car. Instead of a 7-speed dual clutch, it has a 6-speed traditional gearbox. It's also all-wheel drive. And despite the fact that this one is significantly better looking than this one, they're more of a similar recipe than you'd think looking at the two of them. Both of these cars represent great value in the price brackets in which they fall. Obviously, we don't need to introduce the Huracan for a supercar. These things are incredibly usable, incredibly reliable. They sound great, they work great, they're very quick. They're a great all-around package. This is very, very interesting because for the price bracket, it's kind of the same. See, it looks a little different. It's a sedan, not a two-door coupe. But for $10,000, you're getting a Lamborghini V10 under the hood. You're getting all-wheel drive, you're getting a lot of usability, and actually decent reliability for what it is. These cars are known that it's still expensive if you have to fix them, because it is still a expensive car that's been depreciated. But this car has 200,000 kilometers on it. It is still going happy. Things are known to take mileage very, very well. And the way it sounds and the way it drives for the price point is very, very unmatched. One of the best attributes that the Huracan has is the exterior is just gorgeous. Obviously, this design is very timeless. This car looks very, very exotic and has incredible road presence. The design of the headlights, the design of the shape, the mirrors, the wheels, everything about this car screams sexy. Looking at the exterior of it, it draws a ton of attention. The S6, on the other hand, is actually quite mundane. It's very cool to me that when they styled this car, they went really subdued. Generally speaking, subdued is not my style, and I think that's a large chunk of why this car has depreciated so far for what it is. But if you were just seeing this in normal traffic, outside of the little V10 badge on the fender, you don't really know that this is an exotic-esque super sedan thing. It looks like a normal Audi rolling down the road. Still a decent looking car, still a cool car, but overall, you wouldn't tell how special it is just looking at it. It does definitely change a bit though when you hear it. If we compare it to the Huracan, it does sound a little bit different because, of course, the S6 has a full-length exhaust system because the engine's in the front, whereas the Lamborghini has a very short exhaust system because the engine's in the rear, but it sounds crazy as well, and quite similar. I swear, it is so funny spending time with cars like this. I don't know if you guys heard that or not, but some dude took the time and the effort to just lean out of his car to yell at us, "Nice rental," as we're playing around with the Lamborghini. You never know what you're gonna get. For frame of reference as well, both the Lambo and the S6 have aftermarket exhausts. The S6 has a few goodies because from the factory, even though these cars have a very similar engine, the S6 only makes about 435 horsepower versus the Huracan that makes about 602 horsepower. They are still essentially the same. It just gets a little more refinement and gets a little more output because of what it is. Outside of that, the S6 has intake spacers, tuning, and a couple other minor goodies. This car is 100% stock outside of having an exhaust. Both sound phenomenal, both are very quick, but this is for sure more potent, even though the S6 has some mods. One last thing before we take them through drive, looking at the interiors, of course the Huracan has a very large advantage because this car is 7-8 years newer than the S6. It has a full LCD gauge cluster, which is very, very cool and kind of displays everything. The newer Huracans, you do get a screen in here, but this feels very modern, and despite the fact that it's not completely perfect from a usefulness standpoint, it is very, very good. It's a super driver-focused cockpit. The column-mounted paddles in these cars are phenomenal. The feeling behind the wheel in these cars are phenomenal. Lots of Alcantara, lots of space, great visibility. These cars are really, really good as a driver-engaging supercar. You know, this car is not that fast compared to a lot of the other supercars in the price bracket, but this helps that significantly, and it is a very phenomenal place to be. In contrast, if we hop inside the Audi, of course, this is a luxury car. It's a lot more luxury focused, and it's a lot older as well. It is still a super, super nice interior. Obviously, these big bolstered bucket seats that look really, really cool. You do still have paddles, but they're a lot smaller, and they're wheel mounted instead of column mounted. The gauge cluster in this car is not anywhere near as modern, but it is still very, very cool looking. I love the design of it. This car has a lot of random amenities and cool things. Like, these were even available for one random example. Instead of a glass sunroof like we have, you could get this car with a weird like solar panel thing that would operate the AC system when the car was running or was not running, so that when you got in, it was a lot more nice in an ambience setting. Like, this car is very, very loaded to the nines with all of the luxury tech available at the time. It's very comfortable. It's very quiet on the road, outside of the fact that this one has a very aggressive exhaust. I don't know, very different than the Lamborghini, but again, considering that it's currently a $10,000 car, phenomenal nonetheless. Let's go for a drive. Going for a drive in the S6. It is quite fun. I have a history playing around with cars that are supposed to be expensive but are cheap due to depreciation. Had this, my M6, my XFR, a lot of cars that are very similar in that standpoint. They were supposed to be expensive, are very fast, come with a fun engine, but now because of depreciation and because they're kind of luxury oriented, you can get them for very cheap. That was the solution for me before being able to play with supercar stuff. And this car was kind of always a halo on that side of things. Because it is, you know, if you're only looking to spend $10, $15, $20,000, it feels in many ways like you're getting a Lambo or something Lambo-esque for a lower cost. Makes great noises. The transmission really lets this car down. No, I'm not the only one to have ever talked about that on the internet, but I do think that's also a big chunk of why this car has depreciated so hard. Because outside of that, you think about what it is as a recipe, it's awesome. It's a Lamborghini V10 powered sedan thing. Super comfortable, super usable, all-wheel drive, winterable, all of those things. But the gearbox really isn't that seamless in it. I mean, it's a ZF 6-speed, it should be, but it just isn't. I don't know what it is about the way it's set up in this car, but it's just, it's honestly, it lets it down a lot. Even though the gearbox is a little bit of a letdown, the engine does help make up for it though. Not many cars that sound this good for the price point offer. It does better than you'd think on fuel, considering it's a 5.2 V10, and so too does the Huracan, but this is a much, much heavier car than the Huracan is. I don't know, there's lots of carbon fiber inside. From an option standpoint, this car is pretty good, and if you're looking for something that has a V10 in it and can take multiple adults, more than just two, comfortably, it's a very, very good choice. And or if you're trying to stay budget conscious, which most people would be, this car is a lot of fun for $10,000. Okay, let's take the Huracan for a drive. Immediately, of course, although the Audi is super, super nice, the Lambo is a significantly more special place to be. As you get playing around with supercars more and more, the Huracan can feel a little bit vanilla. You know, you compare it to something like our 650S, and while it's a great car, it is a lot slower than the 650S. It doesn't have doors that go up, and you do see a lot more of these, but it's for a good reason. These are great, great cars. They're super reliable, super fun to use, but they do still feel incredibly special. You do still have a Lamborghini badge on your steering wheel. It does still sound fun. It does still shift crazy fast, and it's a proper supercar. So obviously the S6 is $10,000, and for $10,000 it's phenomenal value, but it's not a proper supercar. This is that, even though they share a very, very similar, if not kind of the same engine. You know, the other thing, the S6 is built around the engine. the engine is built as a piece of this all-around car, and it does make a big difference. If you're trying to find a, entrance point, if you want to have a Huracan, and of course a $300,000 car isn't just to a point where you can afford it yet, there's nothing wrong with that, and the S6 is a great choice. But that being said, driving a Huracan is still a very, very special feeling. I do really, really love the little burble and pop that these cars make. Transmission in this is significantly better than the one in the S6. It's not hard to beat. See, this is a proper dual clutch gearbox, and that is a very, very slow auto slush box.
The Lambo just feels to me like it's a little extra special.
They're so driver focused. Like, obviously, compared to the S6, like, it's no secret we're comparing a $300,000 car to a $10,000 car, and that's just not fair to the $10,000 car. You juxtapose it, actually, the S6 does really well. Comparing this, though, to a lot of the counterparts around it, being the McLaren and Ferrari options, I don't know, the interior and the feel of a Huracan is super, super special. Like, she is very, very spoiled as well, because we get to do a lot of this stuff, right? Like, we're very, very young, but being positioned for the job and the ways we've done things, we're going to spend a lot of time in a lot of cool cars. And if you're spending or looking at like $500,000 or less, there is still a lot of reasons that it is very hard to pass up on a Huracan. Of course, this one is a little bit obvious. The Lamborghini is a significantly better car, as it ought to be. It's a $300,000 car in comparison to a $10,000 car. That being said, though, I still think that it is not 30 times better. This still does provide phenomenal value, especially when you remember that it's a $10,000 car and a great entry point into a V10 super sedan-esque car that sounds like it does, fits in some pretty cool places, and is a ton of fun to drive.
Just go with the Lambo.
This is Code 3 Media. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys next time. Peace.